Hello students. Uh, so I hope you have understood covalent bonding in molecules and compounds, in some of the molecules and compounds which we have discussed so far. So today also we will continue with chapter 4, that is carbon and its compounds, and today we will discuss some of the properties of carbon and bonding in carbon. Now please refer your PDF files also. Properties of carbon. Carbon is an element and it is a non-metal. Okay. So the symbol of carbon is C, capital C. Second, the name carbon is derived from Latin word that is carbo, which means coal. Next point, the amount of carbon present in the earth crust, that is 0.02%, and atmosphere, that is 0.3%, is small. Okay. Now in the earth crust, the carbon is present in the form of minerals like carbonates, okay, coal, petroleum, and the atmosphere, it is present in the form of carbon dioxide gas. All of carbon based compounds called as organic compounds. The compounds of carbon are called as organic compounds. For example, you know that in photosynthesis the glucose is manufactured. Now the formula of glucose is C6H12O6. Now in this compound or in glucose carbon is present, so it is called as organic compound. Glucose is called as organic compound. Proteins are also called as organic compounds because it has carbon in it. Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone what are organic compounds. Now large number of things used in daily life are made up of carbon. Carbon compounds burn in air to produce carbon dioxide gas, which turns lime water milky. Okay, so all the carbon compounds, they burn in air and they produce carbon dioxide gas. But how we know the presence of carbon dioxide gas? Because carbon dioxide gas is colorless gas. So this carbon dioxide gas, when it is passed through lime water turns milky. Okay, and now students, most of the things, okay, in our daily life are carbon compounds, like our food material like grain, pulses, sugar, tea, coffee, fruit, vegetable, etc. are carbon compounds. Okay, the materials like cotton, silk, wood, nylon and polyester which are used for making clothes are carbon compounds. The fuels like wood, coal, kerosene, LPG, CNG, natural gas, petrol and diesels which is used for cooking food and running vehicles are carbon compounds. And also paper, rubber, plastic, leather, drugs and dyes are also made up of carbon compounds. So it is clear that carbon element plays a very important role in our daily life. Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone. Now bonding in carbon. What do you mean by bonding in carbon? What type of bond is present in different atoms of carbon? Okay, now just see your slides. The atomic number of carbon is 6, and what is the electronic configuration? The electronic configuration is, in K shell there are 2 electrons and in L shell there are 4 electrons. But in L shell, what happens? In the L shell there should be 8 electrons, but there are only 4 electrons. So here the carbon, it doesn't acquire a noble gas configuration, or you can say, in order to acquire noble gas configuration, what this carbon will do? It will either gain electrons or it will lose electrons. Okay, but I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, because you know that in the last shell or in the valence shell there should be 8 electrons, but in carbon there are only 4 electrons. So what carbon we can do in order to acquire the noble gas configuration? It will either lose its 4 valence electrons or it will gain 4 electrons. But carbon neither loses 4 electrons, neither it gains. But carbon share its 4 electrons with other carbon atoms or atoms of other elements, understood, to acquire noble gas configuration. Now, why carbon does not gain 4 electrons or it loses 4 electrons to acquire noble gas configuration? Now, the first reason is that Why it doesn't lose? Because it require large amount of energy to lose 4 electrons, which is not possible. Understood? Now if the carbon will lose 4 electrons, what will happen? The carbon will become C plus 4. Okay, but C plus 4 or carbon cation is not formed because large amount of energy is needed by carbon atom to lose 4 electrons. Now the carbon atom does not gain electron also. It does not gain electron to form C minus 4 anion to acquire noble gas configuration. Why? Because what happens? The electrons, the 4 electrons, okay, what happens? What happens? Anyone can tell? Because these 4 electrons, they are repelled by the valence electrons present in the carbon atom. That is why it doesn't take electron, because these electrons which are gained, it will be repelled by the valence electrons. I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, so carbon, it shares its 4 valence electron with others, and moreover in the carbon atom there are 6 protons. So if it will gain 4 electrons to acquire noble gas configuration, then what will happen? There the protons will be only 6. So protons are, or positive charge cannot hold so many electrons. So in carbon, ionic bond formation is not possible because it does not lose electrons, neither it gain electrons, but it shares electrons. Okay, now what is covalent bond? That we have discussed before also, but once again I would like to repeat it. The bond formed between nonmetals by sharing of valence electrons to acquire noble gas configuration. Now students, there are few examples of covalent bond. You can refer page 60 of your science book also, and we have discussed all these examples in our previous classes. That is the formation of covalent bond in hydrogen. Here it is shown, oxygen it is shown, and nitrogen also it is shown. So this all we have discussed in our previous class. So still you just see here, refer your PDF files also. In hydrogen, in both the hydrogen there are 1 valence electrons, and they need 2 electrons in order to acquire the noble gas configuration, and neither of them can lose electrons, so they share their electrons. And you can see in the second picture that in this common area 2 electrons are there. So these 2 electrons are for one hydrogen atom also and the other hydrogen also. Now covalent bond formation in oxygen, that also we have discussed in detail. Now in oxygen there are 6 valence electrons and it needs 2 electrons. So both the oxygen atoms, they will share 2 electrons. Okay. In nitrogen also there are 5 valence electrons and they need 3 electrons. Both the nitrogen atom needs 3 electrons, so they will share their 3 electrons. We have discussed all these things before. Covalent bonding already discussed in hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, water. CH4 is methane, CCl4 that is carbon tetrachloride, C2H6 that is ethane, C2H4 that is ethene, C2H2 that is ethyne. So we have discussed the covalent bond formation in all these compounds. Now what are the general properties of covalent compounds? Okay, physical state. Covalent compounds may be solids, liquids or gases. For example, ammonia, carbon dioxide, methane, they are gases at room temperature. However, water is liquid and wax, glucose, sucrose are solids. Okay. Then melting and boiling point. Covalent compounds do not consist of ions, so their boiling and melting points are low. Why? Because they do not form positive and negative ions. So in the compounds, the forces of attraction is not strong, because in ionic compounds, since they are formed of oppositely charged ions, so the forces of attraction between oppositely charged ions is very, very strong. So thereby the melting and boiling point is also high because so if the bond is strong means so much of heat is required to break the bond. Okay, but here in covalent compounds the ions are not formed, so forces of attraction is not strong, so thereby the melting and boiling point is not high as compared to ionic compounds. Okay, next is solubility. They are soluble in non-polar solvents such as carbon tetrachloride, acetic acid, etc. Okay, but are insoluble in water. Then next is electrical conductivity. So you know I think you remember that ionic compounds are good conductors of electricity because they are formed of ions. So when they are dissolved in water, for example, if you take ionic compound sodium chloride, that is NaCl, which is formed of sodium positive and chloride negative. Okay, so sodium chloride, here the ionic bond is very strong, or you can say the forces of attraction in sodium chloride between sodium ion and chloride ion is very strong. So when water is added, this it dissociates into sodium positive and chloride negative ions. Okay, and it conducts electricity, it allows the electricity to pass through it. Okay, but here in covalent compounds they are bad conductors of electricity because of absence of ions, as the conduction of current is carried out by the movement of free electrons or ions. Okay, so here you know the conduction of current, okay, it is carried either by electrons or by ions, but here the ions are not formed, so they are poor conductors of electricity except graphite. Okay, and I would also like to say just discuss one thing with you students. The carbon, it occurs in more than one form. For example, it occurs in diamond and graphite form. What is diamond, what is graphite? They are nothing but they are carbons, so they are called as allotropes of carbon. Okay, and graphite, just now we have discussed that they are carbon compounds are poor conductors of electricity, but graphite is a good conductor of electricity. In your pencil nib, that is a graphite. So when you will connect it with a battery and a copper wire and you will attach your LED bulb with it, okay, that LED bulb will glow, which shows that this graphite, it allows the electricity to pass through it. Okay, so now in the next class we will discuss about this hydrocarbons, we will discuss about catenation, and we will also try to discuss about homologous series. So your homework is show the covalent bonding in carbon dioxide. Please complete it now and submit it to me. Thank you, students.